Okay, so multiplying monomials, binomials, polynomials, etc. Multiply every term with every term. Five times the quantity of x plus 3. Okay, regular distributive property. Instead of putting a number in front, now how about I put an x? So you say to yourself, what is x times x? And it's x squared. And then x times 3 is 3x. So again, you can't combine anything there because one's an x squared and one's an x. Now I give you a number and an x. Negative 2x times the quantity x minus 3. This should be negative 2x squared. Now I have to say to myself, negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6x. Again, you cannot combine any like terms there. The one to the left is now an issue because there's 2 terms times 2 terms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 3x cubed times both of them in the other quantity. All right, 3x to the third times x is going to be 3x to the fourth. 3x to the third times negative 4 is going to be minus 12x to the third.
So that wouldn't be like FOIL, right? The first.
That's exactly what it is, yeah. Now I'm going to look at the 2x. And that has to be multiplied by both. And now I get 2x times x is positive 2x squared. And then 2x times negative 4 is minus 8x. So what we did was multiply the firsts, then we multiplied the outers, then we multiplied by the inners, and then we multiplied by the last terms, commonly known as FOIL. Part A. The first thing the problems ask of you is to do it when there's multiple x's and multiple y's. So now it's like another level of stuff. Same rule applies though. See, now there's 3 things inside the parentheses, so I have to multiply all 3. And I say, okay, negative 3y times 4xy squared. I start to do stuff in my head as I get better. So negative 3 times 4 negative 12. There's just only one x there. And then y times y squared.
Wait, so you wouldn't multiply -3 with the x and the y? You would just carry that down?
I did multiply it, but I did multiply numbers with numbers. So like numbers go with numbers, x's multiply with x's, y's multiply with y's. So like in the next term, I have negative 3 times positive 5. Again, there's no x, so I just bring that down. But there is y times y, so that's y squared. That's that one. Then the third one. Negative 3y times negative 2y will be positive 6y squared. Okay, take like 1 minute. Think about part B. No worries. All right, so you've had some time to think about it. I can leave the yz alone. And I think I get 40 x to the third yz. Ten times 8 is 80. And then none of the variables go together. X, y squared.
Oh, so then you don't combine like the y's together?
Do you combine the y's together? No, you can't.
Like one has multiple.
Right. You can't combine anything. Yeah.
In the last chapter, when there was an exponent, like let's say we have x to the third in parentheses, and then 2 outside of it, you would multiply those 3 and the 2.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're adding them. I don't know why is that confusing me? Because this is not the same thing as this. Right. Okay. I just needed to hear myself say that out loud.
That's the difference.
My brain just kind of got caught right there.
See this one?
Yep.
That wouldn't be adding them.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, good. Here. One specifically I want to look at. So now we take the rules from last time. So now we have a power rule and a product rule put together. The first thing I'll do is the power rule, because it's power to a power. So x to the third to the fifth power should be x to the 15th. And then x to the fourth to the second should be 4 times 2. Then next step is product rule, 15 plus 8. X to the 23rd. I would add the 15 and the 8. Yep. It's like 2 different steps.
Wait, but there's 2 x's, and that's indicating multiplication, isn't it? So wouldn't it be? You're where I'm confused.
I do. Compare that with the one above where it has the numbers, 10 times 4. The numbers are multiplied together, right? But the exponents are added.
So in this one, you multiply the exponents, correct?
Multiply the exponents, correct.
And
3
then
times 5.
X plus x15 plus
Times, multiply, x to
okay,
the 15th times x to the 8th.
to the 8th, and then you added the exponent.
Right. Because there are different rules for exponents. You wouldn't, no. Okay, so that whole thing is different from this. 2x squared plus, so say I'm adding it, right? I can do that because they're both x squareds. I can add them, so that would be 5x squared. But notice how the exponent doesn't change. Totally kind of separate rules. Okay. All right, now imagine that you have a fraction taken to the 3rd power. So remember the rules, like you apply the exponent to everything in the parentheses. Round this to the nearest 10.
These both?
Yeah.
59 and
What's 59 to the nearest 10?
10 is 0.59? Or is
That's not tenth. 10. Round to the nearest 10 would be 680. Round to the 4 to the 3rd. All right, here's the thing that you might miss and why we did this. The exponent gets applied to everything, so it's really this. 4 to the 3rd, x to the 6th, y to the 12th. So you've got to do 4 to the 3rd power.
So if there wasn't, or you just leave it.
And then 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. This whole thing becomes 64. X to the 6th, y to the 12th. So there's a lot in this particular slide right here. Please let me know if you have questions.
It's hard to enter these answers in on the computer.
It is difficult to enter the answers in, yeah. Because you have to press the exponent button, and or you could use the caret symbol. It also does it. What else? 2. Okay. All right, we've seen the term FOIL, right? We just talked about that. In the examples from the textbook or the computer, you might get like the rectangle method, but it's just the same thing. So look at this one in the corner. Example, find the area of the rectangle. But you don't have numbers. You have x minus 4 and x. So imagine that like the width is 4 less than the length. How would you find the area? Area of a rectangle. Length. Area of a rectangle is length times width. So now we're just basically multiplying things together, but I have to use parentheses. So how would I do that? Just distribute. And it becomes x squared minus 4x. That's all they're looking for you to write. That's your answer. You remember that one?
I do.
Yeah. So find the area of a rectangle, but they want an expression. They don't want they don't want any numbers or anything.
I know, it's just dumb. I really don't like maths.
So same thing on the left, right? You have to do firsts. Y times 2y is 2y squared. Then do outers, negative 3y. Then do inners is positive 4y. And then last is negative 6. Why am I doing this one? Well, now you've got something that cancels. So you have to first FOIL, then combine like terms. It will pretty much usually always be the middle ones. So you see how they both have a y. So I have to write 2y squared, and then negative 3 plus 4 is plus 1y. But remember, we don't need to write the 1. We just assume it's there.